Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Tom, I'm Head of Partnerships here at Tugger, and today we're diving into how you as an accountant can maximise visibility from Xero in Power BI. So to kick things off, what we'll be covering today is, firstly, we'll cover off the basics of what AI is, just to connect you with what the world of AI looks like today and how it's being used. We'll also cover off our experiences of AI across various industries and how your clients might be using AI, as I'm sure you all have clients from varying industries similar to us, and then giving you feedback from clients we've seen and how they use AI to build their value. Following that, we'll delve into your world and show you how AI is complementing the accounting space, from automation to data analysis. And finally, we'll discuss the role of AI in business intelligence for accountants today and where we think it will be heading in the future. So what we found is that the rise of AI is reshaping the landscape for accountants. With increased computing power and affordable storage mean more data analysis capabilities and faster processing of your financial information. Essentially, no stone is left unturned. And accountants are facing a mass of data. AI essentially helps you sift through the vast amount of information to extract those golden nuggets waiting to be unearthed. And with the development of advanced algorithms, accountants can actually leverage AI-powered tools to automate those repetitive tasks, find anomalies in your financial data, and even predict the future. Now, I'm not saying this is going to make you win the lottery, but if you imagine an instance where you have a technology that prevented a crucial error and then were prompted of this error, allowing you to react to solve it in good time, this is where we think the future is going. So let's actually just break down the definition of AI and its implications for accountants. Currently, AI is not the Terminator or something that Will Smith is trying to save the planet from. If you were to pick back the layers and unveil of what AI actually is, it learns specific tasks for specific data and with the ability to be tailored to your own needs. Now, I'm sure some of you will be familiar with the likes of ChatGPT. Essentially, it takes a piece of text, for example, the beginning of a sentence, and tries to predict the next part. It then compares it to the actual text and adjusts itself to correct any errors. And it does this millions and millions of times using a vast amount of training text to develop a natural language response. However, it is important to acknowledge the limitations of AI in the accounting space. Learning is often task-specific, requiring large sets of quality data. Essentially, it needs more flexibility within models to fit those diverse needs of your accounting tasks. But why should we care about AI? I'm sure that's a question a lot of you have asked yourselves. Well, what we're seeing at the moment is that accountants utilizing AI are gaining a competitive edge. And by using AI-powered tools, they're able to reallocate time lost from manual workflows and endless scrolling through data. These tools position you as industry leaders, and using that time gained to attract new clients and build upon the relationship with the existing ones. I mean, either that or an extra round of golf with an AI-powered golf club. And yet that is a real thing that I saw on YouTube the other day. AI is helping you to pick up errors. And I'm sure you're all good at what you do, but you aren't the Terminator. Even if some of you think you are, errors do get missed. And by embracing AI with open arms, that allows you as an accountant to differentiate yourselves from competitors who are taking that tortoise and the hare approach. In this case, though, the hare won't be distracted as it's AI powered and instructed to reach that finish line. And by staying ahead of the curve, you will be the Terminators of the accounting space. And that is it for the Terminator references, I promise. But don't just take my word for it, though. Here are some examples of where AI is actually being used today. All the online services use AI to analyze how you interact with them. I mean, cynically, it could be said to keep you hooked to them, and I'll admit it does certainly work on me. Banks and financial institutions are big users of AI, particularly when it comes to attempting to detect fraud. Healthcare as well. AI helps pharmaceuticals to find candidate molecules, analyze drug safety, and I mean, you may have even heard in the news of the NHS using radiological images are being analyzed by AI with a greater degree of accuracy. And something a little bit closer to home, some of you may have an Alexa, the smart speakers. They've been trained to recognize speech and derive it from any commands you may give it. I know that can be a little bit scary to think of. And Nest, that learns your habits to adjust the heating in your home so that you can get back from your AI-powered round of golf and relax in a nice AI-heated home. But what does this mean for you? AI-powered tools like Data Snipper enhance accuracy by identifying discrepancies in financial reporting, reducing errors and ensuring integrity of your data. Automation of repetitive tasks such as data entry, reconciliation, and invoice processing. And the last thing you would want to miss are financial risks and fraud. AI actually continually monitors these transactions, enabling you to actually identify those risks and secure sweet peace of mind. And did you know that AI tools automate accessing up-to-date regulations and identifying tax smart strategies, enabling you as an accountant to optimize tax planning for you or your clients efficiently? AI allows your firms to scale your operations effectively, handling larger volumes of data and client accounts without compromising quality, efficiency, or your sanity. And while some of you may already utilize tools like Fathom, many miss out on leveraging AI for strategic conversations with their clients. And by not running from it, but embracing AI-powered solutions, you can actually uncover hidden opportunities for competitive advantage and deliver exceptional value to your clients. These tools will actually empower you as an accountant to offer valuable analysis and strategic advice to your clients, driving informed decision-making. And we've seen that when our clients use these tools, it actually grants them more time to focus on one of the highest value tasks, actually meeting with clients. But AI needs data, and so do accountants. But how does data drive innovation for you? For accountants, data's not just information. It's a goldmine of insights waiting to be unearthed. In our experience, those that delve into these insights have been able to sit with their clients and provide strategic guidance. Accountants do have access to a variety of data sources. I'm sure some of you will be familiar with the likes of Xero, QuickBooks, and Sage. They offer a treasure trove of financial data for analysis, helping you as an accountant to gain a comprehensive understanding of your client's financial health. And systems like HubSpot and Salesforce provide valuable insights into client interactions and relationships, allowing you as an accountant to actually tailor your services to meet your clients' needs effectively. And finally, tools like Xero and Monday offer data on project management and team productivity, enabling you to optimize resource allocation and enhance efficiency within your firms, or check who's spending too much time at the coffee machine chatting. Now, let's delve into the key aspects of data quality that is crucial for accountants. For you as an accountant, data quality is paramount. It needs to be accurate, reliable, and representative of the financial realities of your clients' businesses. And while quality is essential, quantity also plays a significant role. From our experience, the accountants we work with can see that the more data you have access to, the better the insights and outcomes you can actually deliver for your clients. And we've seen that when an accountant focuses on both the quality and quantity of data, you can ensure you're equipped with the necessary information to provide valuable insights, make informed decisions, and drive success for your clients. But where can you view all that data? Power BI is an intelligence platform designed by Microsoft, designed to transform raw data into actionable insights. It allows users to create interactive and visually appealing reports and dashboards to analyze data and gain insights quickly. Power BI seamlessly integrates with various data sources, including Excel, SQL databases, and cloud services, and more, enabling comprehensive data analysis and reporting. And did you know that Power BI is one of the more interesting offerings? It doesn't require any programming. Power BI is aimed squarely at business who have a requirement to produce reports and insights from their business data. I mean, a big advantage of Microsoft Power BI is that it offers a free period to try and a very reasonable £10 per month per user. Microsoft Power BI allows easy imports of data from many sources, databases, spreadsheets, CSVs, etc. Extensive documentation and videos available, and it's easy to use, which is always music to everyone's ears. There are a number of charts available in Power BI which can be used to display your data, some of which are using AI under the covers. And a big thing to mention for you as an accountant is that the results are very heavily dependent upon the quantity and again the quality of the data that is given. So you might be wondering, how do I get my Xero data into Power BI? When you develop Power BI internally, it could take many months, and that is one of the downfalls of it. Well, we're going to see what today looks like for us and how the accountants we work with are actually utilizing their data. But if you're one of the many that ask, how do I get my Xero data into Power BI without any technical experience, then the following example will be perfect for you. I mean, Xero already have great open APIs. And if you're not familiar with an API is a set of protocols that enable different software components to communicate and transfer data. However, the challenge that many face is that not everyone is technical minded or has the internal resource necessary to deal with all of that data and development. So I'll show you how our plug and play Power BI tool, Tugger, will do all that heavy lifting for you. And luckily, with no experience necessary. So as you can see on my screen here, we've already connected Tugger and Xero together, which is where all of our OData feed will be coming from. And all you need to do is click on Report Setup, into Power BI, and then we're presented with two options. We can either start from scratch or download one of our pre-built Xero reports that we have available, which is being loaded up now. Then we click Open. We're then presented with a URL prompt for our OData feed. And if you're not familiar with an OData feed, essentially it's a live feed from Xero that populates the dashboards that you will see. We can then go back in, click I have downloaded the template and copy our OData URL and paste. While this loads, something that is worth mentioning that you will be given a security prompt for your authentication details, which of course I'm not able to show you due to security purposes or the fact that my directors will probably have my head, but your data is secure and there will be a prompt for that. And there we have it, plug and play Power BI from Xero. Something else that is worth mentioning is that whilst you are given all these pre-built reports to play with and then manipulate how you see fit, you can still create your own pages and manipulate your data using any of the tables on the right-hand side here. So let's say, for instance, we were looking for contact. And then we wanted to see, let's say, number of invoices and invoice type. We can simply create that into a stacked bar chart. And there we have it. We can now see the number of invoices and contacts and invoice type. Now, let's hop into the DeLorean and have a little look at what the world looks like today. Not the DeLorean just yet, that is the next slide. So what we're going to look at today is what the world looks like now. When we work with accountants, they were struggling to consolidate data down. And that is due to the fact that Xero struggles to consolidate data down. And you'll have to bear with my load times. My laptop does seem like it's about to take off. Today's world, as an accountant, it's important to see trends. You can actually drill in and then drill down. And from this, you can decide if you need to utilize resource in a different manner. This allows you to ask the right questions in the right area and at the right time. And going back to the integration capabilities of Power BI, using Tugger, you can actually integrate financial and non-financial sources such as HubSpot and avoid using a plethora of different reporting tools. And now we're going to hop into the DeLorean and take a peek at what the future holds. This is where we think the future's going. As an accountant, the future of predictive forecasting holds immense value for you and for the clients that you serve. First and foremost, it's about empowerment. Predictive forecasting enables you to move beyond reactive number crunching to advise a client. So imagine you're sitting with a client in a what-if scenario. And for this instance, we're going to look at Amazon and say that you lost Amazon as a client. As you can see from the report here, it will actually adapt to what your world will look like if you were to then lose Amazon as a client. You'll be able to anticipate financial trends, identify potential risks, and guide your clients toward informed decisions that drive their business success. Moreover, predictive forecasting transforms that client-accountant relationship. It's not just about delivering historical data anymore, it's about offering a vision into their financial future, a premonition, if you will. In essence, the future of predictive forecasting is not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about empowering accountants like you to elevate your services, deepen those client relationships, and drive business growth in a rapidly evolving landscape. So something that we actually do offer is the option for you to try it yourself. This is a 30-day free trial, and you can see the contact details there for you to get in touch, or a lovely QR code right there. So I would love to hear how you've all found the webinar today, and if there's anything that we can help you with. We have actually one of the founders here, a nice treat for you, Tugger, going to jump on. Craig, he's built this from the ground up, so he's got a lot of experience in working with our accountants here, and this is a great opportunity for you to ask some questions.
Hi guys, thanks for the introduction there, Tom, and love the webinar there that you just read.
Thank you.
So there's a few questions that I've just got coming here. So the first one, someone's asked, from what you said, it looks like Power BI is an easy toe tip into AI. Can you elaborate a bit more on the chart types that are mentioned on the Power BI slide? Okay, so there are a few different sort of charts there that are AI driven, one of them being the key influencers chart. Now, what this enables you to do is to work out things like, is there something that sort of really causes a delay in, say, when an invoice is paid? You may have made some assumptions that you think it might be due to like the size of the invoice or the geography or whatever, but with Power BI, you can actually determine what actually has caused that. So is it due to geography? Is it due to the size of the invoice? Does seasonality impact that? And what Power BI will do is it will run all that information and basically give you a number that says, right, there are 20 reasons as to why, 20 things caused by geography that are impacting this and things like that. So rather than trying to guess and work out where everything's coming from, what's causing delays in invoicing, Power BI will basically just give you the facts, if you like. You can then do stuff like anomaly detection. So if you're looking at a line chart, for instance, it might be going across or whatever, and you may get very minor dips in there, but it might not be obvious that there's an anomaly in there. What you can do is you're able to sort of drill down in that chart. So you can drill down through a piece of that information and say, well, okay, if I drill down there, actually there is something here that wasn't necessarily easy to spot on the chart itself, but there's suddenly a high number that's come in or a low invoice value or whatever it is, and you can determine them from that. Other stuff you can do there, something called decomposition trees. So this allows you to look at how things move through a path. So if we're talking about a sales process, if you like, you can look at, right, when something comes in as a lead, how does that move through the path? Does it go to a meeting? Does it go to a phone call? Does it go to sold? Does it not go to sold? But what you can do around that path as well is say, well, what impacts how it moves down that journey? Is it impacted again? Does it depend on where that lead comes in from? Is it Is it a particular location? Is it a particular country? Is it down to different cities that impact that? So you can then start to say, okay, from my data, if I deal with people in these particular locations, I've got a 90% chance of getting a sale, as opposed to looking at another location where you only get a 20% chance of a sale. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can do from that that are relatively easy to do in Power BI as well. Forecasting, Tom's already sort of demonstrated how that sort of forecasting works, but a little bit more about that. So if you're doing forecasting and you're looking at sort of 5 years worth of data, Power BI will automatically pick up on sort of seasonality. So if, for instance, you've got a business where they have a peak season in, you know, November because of Christmas and December, then it will pick up on that. And when it's doing its predictions to say, well, what's it going to be like next year? It will know, it will look at that and say, well, actually by November, December, we'll expect a peak, rather than looking at sort of January to October and assuming that if that's flatter, then November and December are going to be flatter. And yeah, and there are all sorts of other AI stuff you can do around that as well. And probably sort of one more thing is you can sort of do what they call sort of sentiment analysis. So if you've got reviews of, say, products or reviews of your service, if you've got all those, basically all that data in there, what you can do is with Power BI is say, right, are these like good reviews? Are they bad reviews? It's able to actually read the text that's coming back from those reviews, read the comments in there, and establish from that whether, you know, those reviews are actually good or whether they're bad, and you can do all sorts of things like that. So let's have a look what else we've got. So another question someone's asked is, I have data in an SQL database as well as spreadsheets. Can I combine the view or view all of that in Power BI? Yep, that's totally possible. So Power BI can connect up to various different data sources, as Tom's already mentioned. One have been the SQL data, but also you can combine it up to spreadsheet data. That could be CSVs or, you know, XLS files or whatever that may be. And you're able to, within Power BI, you connect to all these different data sources and you can start to map that data together. As long as you can find like a common denominator from them. So if you've got an SQL database that's got invoices information and they're tied to a client, and your spreadsheet's got like the list of clients somehow mapped together, as long as you've got like a name of those clients, you can basically map those two together, and then you can start to combine these things together. And I think there's one last question in here as well. Oh, there's a couple more questions. So can I put the is there a limit on the number of data sources I combine using Tugger and Power BI? Nope, no limit. You can pull into Power BI as many data sources as you like, whether that be CRM data from somewhere like HubSpot, Xero data, whatever it is. Again, spreadsheets, SQL databases, not a problem. You can bring all that together. Let's have a look. So someone's asked, can I change the reports to suit my business? Any report that you build in Power BI is completely configurable. Our platform comes with different reporting suites out of the box. So we've got reporting suites for Xero, HubSpot, Harvest, all sorts of stuff like that. But every report can be completely customizable. And that's one of the great benefits of Power BI, because you're not tied to, here is a report, I'm using this system. So if you're using Xero on its own, you're looking at the data that you're tied to the reports that are in that platform. But actually, if you move away from that and say, well, I want to do whatever I want to with my data as much as I can do, you can drag that into Power BI and then just change that around, build the charts that you want, combine those data sources, if we said together, and give yourself a complete sort of holistic view of what's going on. So someone's asked, what benefit is a predictive forecast if it relies on past performance? Can it be tailored for changes such as legislation, etc.? And if so, how is this different to any other forecasting software? So let's have a look. So the difference between looking at sort of traditional forecasting software is that when you're probably, particularly if you're looking at sort of like at Xero stuff and things like that, you're particularly sort of looking around sort of cash flow forecasts, and you're looking at what's actually in the pipeline. So if you were doing a say a forecast in HubSpot, you're looking at what deals people have put in that've gone in there. What's not happening? What's not happening amongst this is that it's not looking at what's actually happened historically in your business and gone, well, actually, like we talked about before, like seasonalities and all the rest of it, it's not going, well, you might have these things in your pipeline, but it's not saying, but it's not going, well, actually, based on what's happened historically, this is what's likely to happen. You know, Power BI is able to do machine learning, and it's able to do, you know, run powerful algorithms to kind of work out and say, well, without knowing what's actually in your CRM system, without knowing what's going on in terms of what you potentially have flagged in, it's able to kind of just go, well, because of X, Y, and Z, here is what could happen. And for a lot of businesses that are like sort of small size businesses, they're not particularly sort of forward looking as well. They don't always tend to have all that data and say, well, I've got these leads coming in or whatever. You know, some people might have just put spreadsheets together and all that, and the sort of traditional forecasting tools don't sort of work. Whereas if you can just plug this into sort of Xero and say, well, actually, this is what's happened historically, so it's likely this is going to happen. So those are sort of real sort of benefits, if you like, from that. In terms of legislation, Power BI is not sort of aware of legislation. It doesn't know what's changed, because you've got to remember Power BI is a product that's, you know, built for you know, every country in the world, so it isn't looking at sort of like the legislation that HMRC might bring out, or, you know, legislation in the States or whatever. So if you wanted to do anything around that, you'd have to bring in extra data, if you like. There's nothing to say you couldn't bring that in, but you'd have to bring that sort of extra data in. So what connectors have we currently got available? So we've got a number of different ones. Obviously, we've mentioned Xero, HubSpot, Connector for Harvest, Simpro, Microsoft Teams. We've got a few different ones. Let me just 2 seconds. And then we've got a number of different ones that are coming out as well. So someone's asked whether we've got QuickBooks coming out. That's one that we're looking to bring out sort of first week of April. So that's in development at the minute. And yeah, that's sort of where we are. So I think that is all the questions. So Tom, I will hand back over to you if you like to wrap everything up.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Craig. Thank you for answering those questions. And yeah, thank you to you all for attending. I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been great to discuss AI and also Tugger. Thank you very much again, everyone, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Bye.